All right. All right. All right.
I'm not going to say again because I never were.
What? All right. Hey Ryan. Hey Nick. Hey Wutafuk. Is that your actual name? Wutafuk? Jeremy, that's an actual name. Wutafuk, that sounds like a Wookiee. Star Wars Wookiee. Do you have super hairy arms and face and rest of your body? Then you might be a Wookiee. All right. So, it looks like I am online. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Decent, you guys. Thanks for joining me. So, I think the name of the video might give the topic away. It's we're getting close to the end of my solo contest. We've been running it for 4 weeks, I think. And tomorrow is the last day to submit your entry. And I'm not sure that we set like an actual specific exact minute where we will draw the line for submissions. I'm not sure we did that. So, but if you send it tomorrow, like if there's still Tuesday somewhere in the world, we will accept it. So if we get an amazing winning worthy entry at right before the last midnight, wherever that is on our beautiful planet, I'm not sure. Time zones is a tricky concept. Is my guitar sound clipping a bit? Might be. Let me see what I have here. Maybe I can pull down this. I have like a limiter on the end of everything here. Maybe that's better. So anyway, let me just start by reiterating what the contest is and what it's about. 10 years ago, we put out my very first and so far only instructional DVD called Scar Guitar. And Scar Guitar has been my like online nickname ever since we started Scar Symmetry, I suppose, and when I had my first social media accounts, and I had to decide what to call myself, and I didn't know, and Per Nilsson is a super common name in Sweden, so every possible combination of Per Nilsson with something else that didn't sound too lame was already taken, and I didn't know what to do, and then I figured my buddy Mattias Ia Eklund from Freak Kitchen, he named his first solo album Freak Guitar, I think, and he has got his Freak Guitar Camp, and then I was like sort of running with his idea, and I was like, I'll call myself Scar Guitar then. It's not all that original, but it was the best I could think of, and then that's the name of my YouTube channel and my Facebook page and my Instagram and wherever I show up. So when it was time to do my DVD, it felt natural to just go with Scar Guitar because we couldn't think of anything else. It's silly, but it's recognizable by now. And I've been thinking like maybe someday there will be a day when Scar Symmetry won't be anymore. Would I still be Scar Guitar? But I guess I'm stuck with this for life. And that said, Symmetry is not going anywhere. We just came back from a long semi hiatus, and we're excited to be back. So 10 years ago, the DVD came out, and it was very well received, I must say. Pat my back a little bit. People seem to dig it, and we put in a lot of work on it, like a lot of work. And it's a chunky, it's a thick piece of ass, that DVD. There's so much stuff in it, but it has since sold out on DVD. I have a few copies left, and so I think we have a box of maybe 20 left that we sell on tour sometimes. But you cannot order the DVD online, so technically it's like sold out for that purpose. But now it's been out of print and not available, but now it's available as an online instructional guitar course. And to celebrate this, we're doing the solo contest, which is also a way of sort of celebrating Symmetry's comeback with our new album. So we have received many spectacular entries for the contest, and many others that might not be spectacular worthy of that word, but they have been cool in other regards. And it's really amazing to see even like people that are more like intermediate players. It's really cool to see, like, it's cool to see how everyone approaches these backing tracks and like what people choose to do on them. So yeah, that's been brilliant watching, and I haven't watched everything, I suppose, but a lot, and I'm gonna watch everything before we pick the winner. So if you still want a chance to get in on it, like, do it by the end of tomorrow. And you go to guitarmessenger.com and you click on Scar Guitar, and there's gonna be like a lot of text about the instructional course. You scroll down to the bottom, and there's all the info about the contest. You choose between 3 backing tracks. They are all songs from the new Symmetry album. And like even if you don't want to get in on the contest, like, get in on the backing tracks. They offer like some really nice backings to solo over. Nice chords, pretty nice production. Everything sounds really neat, and so on. And I'm for sure having a lot of fun playing over this myself. And the winner of the contest, we're gonna pick 3 winners. The number 1 is getting a really nice selection of prizes, and the runners up will get some cool stuff as well. But the winner is getting all plugins from Neural DSP, guitar and bass plugins. I'm talking about Archetype Nolly, Archetype Pliny, the Petrucci plugin, the 14 plugins, Omega Ampworks Granifer, which is the Omega Ampworks plugin. I love it for heavy rhythm guitar, and the new Symmetry album, all the rhythm guitars are recorded using that plugin. So the rhythm guitars are all those tones are made with that one, and it's so freaking heavy. All the solos are done with Archetype Pliny, and all the bass tracks are made with the Dark Gloss Ultra. Right now, that's Archetype Nolly. So I'm using Neural DSP all the time, and the winner gets all of their plugins, and that's like if you were to buy them, that would be a big chunk out of your allowance. And then you get Lundgren Guitar Pickups. I've got Lundgrens in this one. What I have and what the winner is getting is the modern vintage humbuckers. but they are not the regular modern vintage pickups that Lundgren makes. They are wired with a different kind of material. I can't remember the name of it because I'm an idiot about these things. But they are custom made for me, and they sound absolutely amazing, both for heavy rhythms and especially for leads. Just like that super nice silky smooth singing tone you want. And there's a custom single coil that is also really lovely. And the winner can pick if they want it slanted or straight. I've got a multi-scale guitar, so I need them slanted. And if they want it in 6, 7, or 8. Yeah. So people tell me I'm clipping. Let's see what's happening. Yep. So a set of custom Lundgren pickups. And what more? Let's see. Maybe not. I'm not clipping now. I turn myself on. Yeah, you get a goodie bag from Strandberg Guitars. They are not chipping in with a guitar on this contest because we did a contest with JTC earlier in the year, so we've already done that. And but they chipping in with a goodie bag. I'm not exactly sure what's gonna be in it. Probably like things like maybe a strap and a T-shirt, something like that. And we got a Pathos distortion pedal from Abasi Concepts. Tosin Abasi, what a hero. He swept in a week ago and handed us the Pathos pedal, and that the winner is gonna get. I haven't tried that pedal all that much. I tried Tosin's pedal board at one point, but there was just a flurry of pedals on it. I don't know what pedal did what. It sounded really good though. And what more? Yeah, you get a vinyl, the latest Symmetry album on vinyl, and you get a T-shirt, and you get a private hang, a Zoom or Skype, or whatever means of communication works. You get a private hang with me where we can drink coffee or tea or whatever and hang out for a bit and talk about guitar and life, and it could be a lesson. I teach you something or you teach me something. If you wanna bring some friends, that's cool too. Yeah, so that's for the winner. So last chance tomorrow to get in on it, and I really would suggest that you should do this. And don't worry about like the quality of sound and video. Just like put up your cell phone, plug into your amp or your interface, whatever, roll a track and just jam. I would be super excited to see what you gotta say with your guitar on my music. So with that said, let's see some questions. I've seen a few of them. Hello, Per. What kind of string action do you use? I'm assuming that you're not Swedish and you won't say pad. You will say per or something. I'm a little bit high right now because I came back from a show where we played and it was really hot, and now it's not as hot or something. So, or if it was the other way around. So I would need some some work on maybe the neck, has turned into a banana or something. But that is for my guitar tech to figure out, because I'm an idiot when it comes to setting up guitars. But I generally likes to keep the action kind of on the lower side, because it just works better for my playing, and I got super weak hands or something. I don't have very manly hands. I got like really soft and weak hands. Do I offer Skype lessons? I don't. I do not. Not at this point, and I don't really see myself doing it in the near future either, because I don't have time for it, basically. In between playing live and recording and producing and all the business stuff and taking care of the family, seeing some friends every now and then, it's just impossible. I do enjoy teaching and I do enjoy like spending time with you here, and this is like I'm happy to take questions about like theory and guitar oriented stuff, like a lesson when I do streams. It's just it's more people can watch it, and it can be uploaded and be watchable for people later on, and so on. So it gives me more like bang for my time, so to say. I'm going back in the chat feed here. You make me miss my Strandberg Singularity. Dude, you had a Strandberg Singularity and now you don't? I'm lost for words. That is just like the saddest thing. That's like kittens dying. It's like that level of sadness. So I don't want to talk about that. Like you had one and now you don't. Shit, man. Let's see. Oh, a couple of you picked up the digital copy of Scar Guitar. That's very awesome. When is my plugin coming? I'm not sure I would need a plugin, because I mean I'm good friends with the guys from Neural DSP. I used all of their plugins pretty much, and some more than others, of course. But I find so much use for their plugins, and I find my tone, the tones, like I find my voice in the stuff that they already have. So I'm not sure what good it would be for me to have like a plugin of my own. I have thought about it, like if it would ever come to that, what kind of things I would be able to offer that would be unique, because there's no point in like doing something that sounds like aside from like potentially like marketing, that there's another famous. I'm not all that famous, of course, but yeah, you know what I mean. Potential solo album in the future. Yes. Maybe not an album. I would probably do more like singles or EPs or something like that. How do you visualize the fretboard? You close your eyes and you think about the fretboard. That's how you visualize it, I suppose. Not visualizing, like learning the fretboard and understanding it, that's such a lifelong journey. It's really hard to like boil that down to just a few sentences. I'm gonna jam in a little bit, just so you know. I'm gonna play my guitar. I am grateful for your music. Thank you, Raiden. What's your favorite non-guitar based musicians? I love all kinds of music. I don't really. I mean, there are genres that I don't really spend a lot of time with, I suppose, and our planet is full of so many kinds of music that I'm for sure just sampling a tiny slice of it in the listening I do. I'm a big fan of Jacob Collier. If you haven't heard about Jacob Collier, write Jacob Collier on YouTube and watch everything and have your mind blown. He's not really all that guitar based, even though he's multi-instrumentalist in like the in the proper sense of the word, because he plays so many instruments at such a high level. And he's not really famous for being a guitar player, though he just put out a single that I really love. This new song is amazing. And he plays a yellow 5-string Strandberg. So he's been, from what I've heard, he's been a fan of Strandberg for a bit. And of course they were super happy to build him a guitar. And since Strandberg, like they have this like modular system with the bridge pieces and these locking pieces, it was easy for them to take one of their 6 strings and just put 5 strings on it instead of 6. And fun fact is that I was visiting Strandberg in Uppsala, Sweden, at their headquarters when they had just finished building that guitar. So I was one of the first people to test drive it. So I actually played Jacob Collier's guitar before he played it. So cheers to that. And he's got an interesting tuning going, because he tunes 5 strings. He tunes 5th on the bass side and 4th on the treble side. So what he's doing is he has a low D, then an A, then an E, then back to an A, and back to a D. So the outer strings are both D, and the next pair is all A, and the middle one is an E. So right. So if he bars all 5 strings, he gets the sus2 chord, and if he just adds a finger, he can get like a minor or a major, and it's a really interesting thing, like it's an interesting concept. So Jacob Collier, I listen to him a lot, and his new song is kind of guitar based, but his previous stuff hasn't been. Yeah, I've been on a Debussy kick lately, one of my favorite like classical composers, and many other things. And actually I really enjoy listening to music that are not, at least not based on heavy rhythm guitars. Say like non-metal music. I really enjoy listening to non-metal music. Because metal music is my what I do for a living, right? Okay, let's do some jamming. And since I'm doing this contest thing with Symmetry backing tracks, I'm gonna play over these tracks. So let's start with Chrono Nautilus. This one is really nice. And let me know if something is wrong with the sound. what's happening. It felt like I had a little bit too little gain on my tone. I'm not sure what's happening. All right. Yeah, I really like playing over that track. And I'll say another question: will you be doing an instrumental album anytime soon? And like, I'm interested in doing solo stuff, but I'm such a sucker for music with vocals, and I haven't actually written a lot of instrumental guitar music. So if I would do something instrumentals, it would probably be more in the fusion direction. That just would make more sense to me, in a way. Yeah, because like doing a instrumental shred album, like the typical 80s kind of deal, doesn't interest me all that much. I much rather write cool songs with vocals and then have a lot of guitar playing in it, like what I do with Symmetry. So I would be more interested in doing that, but maybe do something that's not as much metal. Maybe do like in a progressive rock kind of thing. So we will see. What modes do I mainly use for my solos? I guess the answer is I use whatever the solo part calls for, right? So whenever I play solo on someone else's tune, I have to interpret that part and use what I think makes the most sense and what sounds the most exciting or appropriate for me. When I write my own music, I try to write the parts that will be fun to play over. So like this song I just played, it's like it's really like kind of basic and nice sounding diatonic chord progression. And I really like playing over that. Sometimes I use more crazy chords, and sometimes I solo over something that's more of a heavy rhythm. And yes, but the kind of it's I guess it's more what modes I use when writing, and it's like I write in major and minor keys. I use a lot of the modal of the modes of the major scale. I use modes from harmonic minor, melodic minor, harmonic major. I use some artificial scales like symmetrical diminished, symmetrical augmented, and some more stuff. But that's basically the stuff that I use for 99% of my playing. Yeah, okay, another question. I think you mentioned somewhere in a podcast that you had an injury that made you stop playing. I had a similar situation a couple of years ago and would like to hear how that changed your playing. Yeah, so I'm 49 now, and in my mid 20s, in between I was like 23 and 27 or something like that. I had to stop playing when I was like 23 because I injured my arms from overplaying. So it was like some kind of repetitive strain thing. I couldn't play guitar for about 4 years because I had so much pain. So it was impossible. And then and like I went to doctors and I went to different therapists and I got treatments, and I wasn't subject for for surgery. They didn't think that was a good idea, so I didn't do that. And eventually, for whatever reason, it became better. The pain went away, and I could slowly start playing again. And it took me about a year to sort of be back into being able to play for a reasonable time every day. Because when I started, I played for like 1 minute, and the next day maybe like 1.5 minutes, and I really took it slow. But what that did for my playing, I mean, for me as a person, after a while, I started to think that maybe I will never play again, right? So I had to sort of come to terms with that idea, since I couldn't see an end to it and didn't know what to do, and this is like way before like the internet was such a handy like tool that it is today, where you can look for alternative, things that could help you. Like I, for example, I didn't know about thoughts and prayers, so I didn't have access to those. But it's interesting because music, I couldn't play guitar, but music kept happening in my head. I got myself a little MIDI sequencer that I could like step program music on and write some stuff that's actually ended up on phase 1 and phase 2, our latest albums, which is kind of nice. But music continued happening in my head, and I was constantly improvising like I always did and like I always do. I just kept thinking about music, and I kept thinking about the fretboard. But since I was imagining playing lines over music that I heard, or just whenever, I always think about music and melodies and stuff. So I was thinking about stuff that I would want to play if I could, like play guitar at the time. So I wasn't restricted to what I could do on a guitar. Like in my mind, my hands, like since I couldn't even try it, in my mind I could just like play whatever I imagined, which is difficult for me to keep up with now, because I have like modest sized hands, and so but it's interesting. And when I started playing again, I was a much better player than when I stopped. So in a way, it felt like I had a really like good I made a lot of progress in those 4 years, even though I couldn't play guitar. So if you're struggling with injuries, I mean, if you aren't struggling with injuries, if you're playing and you sometimes tense up and you are feeling some tension or pain, you stop playing, get some massage or do something, or put the guitar away for a while. Make sure to use your body in other ways than playing guitar. Go take a walk, lift some weights, do other things. Just be very, very careful that you don't hurt yourself like I did. So let's see. Did I ever study Michael Brecker? I did not. Thoughts on Mattias Eklund? He's a good friend of mine, and I love him. I think he's a brilliant man, and he's an amazing guitar player. And he's super funny, and he's super generous with himself, with his knowledge and his time, and he's just a sweetheart of a man. Which modes can I use to help break out of the pentatonic, harmonic minor, Phrygian dominant rut I'm in? Any of them, any scale or mode that you haven't used all that much, just get into it. Just don't think too much about it. Like, I don't see Lydian among those. Lydian is cool. E-Lydian. It's a nice scale. Did I listen to Derek Trucks? Not a lot, actually. I've certainly heard him, and my mind is blown every time. And I mean, he plays slide, but sometimes I feel like I'm thinking like a benefit, something that slide players have that I think helps them. Like a guy like Derek Trucks, who is so incredibly melodic. It's because it's like it can sound really good to be like they have a slide, so they have like it's like they have one finger and you know they can make melodies on one string. It makes kind of sense to do that, and the way I think of a guitar is like when you're playing a 7-string like I do most of the time. It's like every string is a keyboard, like a piano. You know, you have the notes are laid out from low to high, and if you're playing something and you want to play something, if you want to go up a pitch, you just go to the right, and vice versa. And that's a very intuitive way to think about melodies. So if I'm playing on one string, if I want to go up, it feels like if I have to go to the next string, it feels like that's not as intuitive. But if you go like, it makes perfect sense because it's so visual when you move in that way. So and some slide players like Derek Trucks, it seems like he's not afraid of like moving on the like horizontal axis. But I haven't like listened to him a lot or studied him, and he's more of someone I listened to a bit later in life, like in the recent few years. Videos pop up in my feed, right? Have I listened to Nick Johnston? I have, and I think he is. I think he's a brilliant player, and he's also a very, very lovely guy. I know him a little bit, and we've hung out a little bit, like at the NAMM trade show. And he writes for like instrumental guitar music. He's one of the people whose songs like I can really get into. Hi, a lot of interesting stuff here. Thank you. Have you ever considered shifting to jazz fusion music and bring heavy tones there? I enjoy playing like improvisational music, right? I'm not much of a jazz player, even though I understand some of the vocabulary. I'm more of a fusion player, and also like the kind of sounds I go for are more in the fusion style, using distortion and stuff. So, as I said a while ago, like if I was to do instrumental music, I would probably go with something more fusion-like than like rock instrumental. Like that is the typical like rock metal instrumental guitar music, because other people do that so well. Like we don't need another guy doing like a John Petrucci style solo album. Like he does that so well. And I wouldn't have too much to say there. I would prefer to just listen to his stuff. So, but to do something in kind of the fusion world that could interest me. But I wouldn't bring like, I would for sure bring like distortion for leads. But I wouldn't do any like heavy rhythms. I'm not interested in making like metal, fusion metal. So yes. But right now, I'm gonna jam a little bit more. I'm gonna do the song Digiphrenia Dawn by Symmetry. This one has got a lot of chords, and it's fun. So let's see what happens. right, enough with the tomfoolery. And let's see. I'm gonna turn down the gain a little bit further. And all right, I'm back. I felt like I drifted away there for a bit. Oh, hey Dean. Good to see a friendly face over here among all the other friendly faces. Get a request, shred over random songs again sometime. That is a very good idea, and I will do that at another live stream. At what hour does the contest end? I'm not sure. I don't think we really set a last hour. We said tomorrow, so if it's tomorrow, I mean if it's Tuesday, still Tuesday somewhere in the world, I'm pretty sure we will accept it. And there's only 3 winners, so like, yeah, if something winning worthy shows up at the 24th hour of tomorrow, we will accept it. So don't worry too much about that. Just send in your entry. So yes, Dean, you are actually quite intimidating. That is true. I've been watching videos of you playing and your band, and you guys are freaks of nature. You are like taking things to levels that no one has taken them before. You have gone where no man has gone before. All right, I'm gonna do one final jam of this evening, and then I'm gonna bother you no more. And I very much appreciated that you hung out with me during this time, this nice little hang we got together. So let me just jam, and then I'm gonna do some closing words for you. But now it's time for some Scorched Quadrant. And be very careful so you don't get your quadrants scorched when you don't want them to be scorched. Right, this song goes from B major to B minor and back again, and it's just a jolly good time. So here we go. All right, B major coming up. B minor. I lost all sound. What the deuce? Huh. I lost sound again. Alright. Oh. Shit. Shit. Cubase. Cubase do the darndest things. Alright. I'm gonna do one last round. Alright. So I think that's gonna do it for tonight. Yeah. Thank you very much from Sweden. I thank you very much, and yeah, sorry for the technical problems. It's very soon, Tuesday, the 25th here in Sweden. And it's the last day of my solo contest, and I'm begging you, I'm urging you, I am advocating for your participation in my contest. Anyway, for all of you who have sent in your entries, it's been super beautiful watching a lot of your solos so far. I'm gonna watch them all, and it's gonna be a pleasure. So for now, you have been beautiful. I have been Per Nilsson. And I will see you on the next one. I love doing these live streams. I love having a bit of a hangout. And I just enjoy answering all the questions and jamming for you, sweet people. So, hugs and kisses. And you guys be good. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.